of the rim. Garnett on the slam. Oh, here's a Curry way downtown. Oh, what a shot from Curry.
Good morning, fellow NBA fans. I'm about to show y'all 5 things that happened in this Lakers-Sun game last night. Catch is, I'm not even going to say whether they were good or bad, just 5 things that happened that were fascinating. I'm not going to be judgmental. 3 of them are actual plays, 2 of them are tidbits that are probably useless, but I just want to show you that they happened. That's it. Short video today, in and out. All right, this first one, I'm not going to speak. I just want you to see it.
For the Lakers. Here's James giving it up into the corner, back to Westbrook. James guarded by Booker. Bradley stumbled. James takes and can't hit for.
Okay, so what did I find fascinating here? Well, on a regular LeBron James team, he's kicking this to a shooter that may or may not be 3 points. On the 2022 Lakers, this is Russell Westbrook, who does make the right pass, but also it's pretty much to a closeout. That was, Jay Crowder was in position to close out there. It wasn't going to be an open 3. Ball actually swings back to Westbrook. He tries to find an angle to which there is none. The Suns are just playing beautiful defense. And you saw the whole play already. Everything that looks open or may be open for the Lakers basically gets clamped up. But all in all, this just goes back to my original question about LeBron James and Westbrook playing on the same floor. I'm sure they're going to have some success this season. I'm sure at points it will look better than it does right now. But this right here is what I always found fascinating, is that neither one of them maximize each other's talent. They just don't. When Russ catches this ball, there's nobody, as he admitted already, nobody's closing out to him. As a matter of fact, they're already closing out to the more dangerous pass. It just feels like it's always going to be easy to defend, or easier to defend LeBron James and Westbrook on the floor than if they weren't sharing it. This lineup is Russ, Baze, Braun, AD, and Avery Bradley. So AD at the 5, with the Lakers' health being what it is right now, it's one of the spacier lineups you will get for Russell Westbrook. It's until Wayne Ellington or Trevor Ariza comes back, and it's just still not ideal. I'll have my original reaction to what was happening here when we were watching the game at the end of the video.
13-point Suns lead.
Y'all see what I see, right? That is Anthony Davis and DeAndre Jordan in the year 2021 guarding a Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton pick and roll. This is a double big man lineup with none other than Russell Westbrook on the floor in 2021. Fascinating, very fascinating. Obviously, this is not the regular setup. There's been a switch somewhere, but I guess you're susceptible to that kind of thing when you're running a double big man lineup that doesn't need to be there in the first place. This is the easiest 2 points of Chris Paul's career. That is DeAndre Jordan and drop, no contests. DeAndre Jordan getting starter center minutes, especially as a defensive center in 2021, is fascinating, but him getting those minutes with Westbrook on the floor is just mind-blowing. And if you watched him at all with the Nets this year, you know this is the extent of his pick and roll defense. This is what you're going to get when he's in space. That a Chris Paul PNR being defended by 2 bigs.
Here is Paul.
Bro, this play is already over. It's done. DeAndre Jordan in space in a pick and roll against Chris Paul with Westbrook completely beaten. This is just the easiest assist of his career. Simple little handoff here that flows into a screen, an immediate roll, and the screen never even made contact. It was just Westbrook came out really far, or was attempting to get over it because it's Chris Paul. Anthony Davis did not pick up on Aiden, and really he couldn't, because if DJ is to go out to Jay Crowder here, this is a mid-range for Chris Paul, being that Westbrook is so beaten. So really DJ is in a bad position here because Westbrook is out. He's behind Chris Paul after the screen action happens, but just DJ shouldn't be out here in these situations in the first place in 2021. It's not science. If you watched him play on the Nets, he can catch lobs. He's a roll threat. He's not bringing you anything of value on the defensive end and pick and rolls. And he's taking up space for Westbrook, or he's taking Westbrook's space in the starting lineup, but they don't play a lot of minutes together anyways, but they should be playing any. Sets the tone. Russell is actually getting off to a decent start. He makes a tough contested fall away jumper, and then he rocks the baby. It's an and one, it's a fadeaway. And then much later in the game, D-Book, I believe he gets an and one here. Yep, got him up in the air. That is a foul. And then he rocks the baby. He does it as they're up 20, and then Kyle Kuzma comments on it. Says D-Book talking spicy, and D-Book Sorry, Kuz, he tweets about Lakers and Lakers players quite a bit. I think we know what's behind that. I'm not going to blow this out of proportion. We're not going to spend a week talking about the AD and Dwight Howard thing, but I'm just going to say I've never, ever, in all my years watching basketball, nearly 20 now, I've just never seen this happen on the sideline in a live game. Maybe it's happened in a live game, but I haven't actually seen it happen live. teammates putting hands on each other. Now, I've seen LeBron get in Chalmers' face. I've seen him had to be restrained, but actually putting hands on each other, that's a new one for me. That is a new one for me. That's all I'm gonna say. So right now, just at the beginning of the season, the Lakers do show shades of the 2013 Lakers. Of course, the main difference there being that there were a ton of injuries to main guys. So Nash got hurt, Gasol got hurt, Dwight came in hurt. There was a lot of things that contributed to that 2013 Lakers team failing. I would like to see them get a real shot at it. But already you see shades of that with this Lakers team. They have injuries to some rotational guys while they're trying to figure out their best rotation and while trying to figure out how to fit Westbrook into this team that already had an established duo. So it would help if you had Dwayne Ellington, Talen Horton-Tucker, Ariza, Kendrick Nunn, so you could figure out what you want to do. Right now, they're kind of forced into certain lineups and playing guys in positions you probably don't want to play them. I doubt they really want to be giving DeAndre Jordan minutes because, as you see, him catching lobs is not worth what he's going to be giving up in pick and rolls. And it's the first 2 games of the season. Not going to declare the Lakers failures after 2 games. I think the product can look better than this. It obviously can look better than this. Let's see them get some of their guys on the floor. And after they get all these guards back and wings, let's see if they make some trades too, if there's any trades to be made, because I think that the rotation is kind of maybe oversaturated at some positions. But it all starts with the very basic. AD is going to have to play 5. Westbrook, I'm just going to go out and say the one thing I can be sure about is he will not be successful on this Lakers team whilst playing double big man lineups. Playing AD at the 4 and one of Dwight or DJ at the 5 with Westbrook on the floor, that you're making it easier for the other team to defend 2 of the best players on earth. They can still have a good game. AD and LeBron can still have good games, but it's difficult for them to get looks in a lineup like that. It's difficult to maximize Westbrook in a lineup like that. Long way to go. It's just 2 of 82, but those are just the things that I wanted to show you from the Lakers and Suns game. They're just fascinating, man. They're just fascinating. That's all. Leave your thoughts on the Lakers in the comments below, or the Suns too. What you think about them? Good bounce back win, great game from CP3. If the Lakers never do figure it out, the Suns are the last team that went to the finals out of the West, so it gets really fascinating out there. Hit the like button, comment, and sub, all that good stuff. Bell next to my name, because that's the only way you'll get notifications when a video drops. I'll see you on the next one.
Here's James giving it
Braun
up.
thought about the 3 and passed it off to Westbrook. That's a fascinating thing, but also why LeBron and Westbrook is such an interesting pairing. Braun passed up what was a pretty open shot to an open Westbrook who didn't shoot it. This is a mess of an offensive possession. Oh, sheesh. That right there is an interesting possession and encapsulates everything I've wondered about this Lakers team since Westbrook signed there. Because on a regular James team, that's a shooter sitting open, and they shoot that. But then it was Westbrook. Man.